what happens when those dynamics either shift or they become, I wouldn't say toxic. Toxic sounds horrible, but you know when you're dealing with families where they don't see eye to eye, and all of a sudden you can't go to that side of the family because something happened 10, 20, 30 years ago, and we've never spoken about it. We've never gotten to a point of reconciling and forgiveness, and therefore there's this rift that has formed. How do you deal with it? How do you go about approaching the elders in the family so that you can reconcile and become united again? And we are now going to look at strategies on how to go about coping with family tragedy, or rather, the impact of trauma in the family household. When a family goes through something life-changing together, right, the emotional impact can shape relationships, communication, and the daily life long after the event itself. Someone passes away, if your aunt, your uncle, parent. While each person may respond differently depending on their age and personality, the shared experience can leave lasting marks on everyone involved. Some people may withdraw, struggle with sleep, experience mood changes, or relive the event through intrusive memories. Others may appear angry, distracted, or emotionally numb. Experts say open communications, strong social support, and healthy routines can help families regain stability. But professional guidance is often the key to further unpack and help us navigate family traumas. We are joined on the line by Kopano Bokaba, registered wellness counselor. Kopano, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to the Upside. How are you doing? Oh, he's not on the line yet. All right. He is on the line. Okay. Kopano, how are you doing? Oh.
I'm well. How are you?
We are fantastic. Kopano, we were having our conversation saying, when we're dealing with family trauma, there are different ways of responding to it. There's no one right way of responding to it. But I think as an expert, I think you are best to advise us on how best we approach a family tragedy. A parent has passed away, a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle has passed away. What are the steps that we need to take, and how do we navigate this new shift in dynamics where now a family member is no longer part of the living, if you will?
Cool. Thank you so much. I think most importantly, this speaks to family trauma in some way or another. And it shows up in different ways for different people. It's very important that we remember that when something like this happens, or a tragedy like this happens in the family, it meets the individuals in the family at different stages. So you could have children who are still developing, you've got teenagers, you've got adults who are also just trying to process and have their own things that they grew up with and now are adults. I think the most important thing to remember that things will happen that are, in inverted commas, we can say normal. When somebody wakes up and there's a nightmare, maybe a child experiences sudden nightmares, people cannot sleep in the house, we're not talking to each other properly, we're raising our voices, it comes in different ways. But the first thing is for us to be aware of it as adults and to name it, to call it whatever it is. We are experiencing loss, it's grief, and allow each other in the household to actually process the feelings and emotions that come with it. Often, this person who might have the person that we might have lost could be somebody who's been playing a very vital role in the family. So just making sure that we are giving each other at home enough time to process what is happening currently to us.
All right. We're in conversation with Kopano Bokaba in her capacity as a registered wellness counsellor. We're discussing family trauma. Let's take a break.
Channel Africa is moving with the times, and so is our WhatsApp line. We've changed our WhatsApp number, making it even easier for you to stay connected. Send us your voice notes, comments, shout outs, and song requests to our new WhatsApp number, +27 83 288 6684. That's +27 83 288 6684. Save it, share it, and stay in the conversation. Channel Africa, the African perspective. The upside. On the upside, your voice matters.
We're 20 minutes into 1 p.m. in Central African time. Let's continue to unpack family trauma with our registered wellness counsellor, Kopano Bokaba, joining us on the line. Kopano, I'd like us to what's happening? Okay, let's take another break.
Africa, voici Abedi.
Oui, c'est moi.
Abedi est un passionné de musique dans l'âme. Il a un goût pour toutes sortes de musique et passe ses journées à écouter Channel Africa.
J'aime beaucoup la musique africaine.
OK. Devinez quoi? Channel Africa veut aider Abedi et les mélomanes du monde entier à découvrir encore plus de musique incroyable. C'est pourquoi Channel Africa appelle les artistes africains à soumettre leur musique. Chers artistes, n'oubliez pas de nous fournir toutes vos informations pertinentes à l'email adresse musique@channelafrica.co.za. Les soumissions sont votre chance d'être entendues, mais elles ne garantissent pas une playlist. Toutes les soumissions seront soigneusement examinées pour voir si elles répondent aux exigences de notre station. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
Je, una jambo lolote akilini mwako? Je, una shauku kuhusu masuala muhimu? Na je, una maoni ambayo unataka yasikike? Kweli, hili jukwaa ni la kwako. Piga simu au tuandikie kwenda WhatsApp namba alama ya kujumulisha 2760552594 na tutakupigia simu.
Mtangazaji wa habari zetu za Afrika Kusini Johannesburg.
Hivyo unaweza kuwa mshirika kwenye matangazo yetu. Sio mazungumzo tu, ni fursa yako ya kuchangia maoni yako na kushirikiana na jumuiya ya wasikilizaji wanaotamani mtazamo wako. Tufuate mitandao ya kijamii. Tembelea tovuti yetu www.channelafrica.co.za na uwe tayari kushiriki na kuchangia maoni yako kwenye Channel Africa. Channel Africa, mtazamo wa Kiafrika.
The upside, taking the African perspective to fresh levels.
Let's pick up our conversation with Kopano Bokaba, registered wellness counsellor. Kopano, I wanted to actually stay on us defining what is happening with us and within our family structures. I think as we're trying to, we live in a time where we're trying to kind of understand things psychologically and attaching terminologies to get a deeper understanding of what's happening to us, because without the definition, you don't really know what the situation is, and therefore you cannot you cannot sort of treat what the problem is, so to speak. So how do we actually define trauma? Because that's a word that's become, quite trendy, so to speak. Something happens, I'm traumatized, or somebody does something to me and they're traumatizing me. So what exactly is trauma? Because that is quite a deep term when you look at how debilitating it can be, when you look at how paralyzing it can be to individuals and their families.
Of course. I think, you know what, I'll try to simplify it for all of us. When you're thinking about trauma, you're thinking about events, moments, experiences in your life that have caused you to feel a sense of unsafety, instability. So now you are always going to respond in moments that are similar to those that you've experienced in the past, in a way that makes you feel a certain way. So, for example, if a child experienced abuse or has been experiencing loss in the family, that stays in their subconscious, especially when it's not treated well, it's not, nobody helps the child to process things. So the body then takes all of that and places in, or responds to it as, okay, am I feeling safe at the moment? Am I being reminded of whatever happened to me before? And now I know how I responded before. It helped me in that moment, not to say that it's going to support me throughout, but at that moment it helped me to say, okay, I'm going to fight this, and I did. So if it's causing you unsafety, instability, and it could be because of the experiences, it could be because of the environment, it could be because of what somebody had said to you, but how the body then takes all of that and makes sense of it is two things. Am I feeling safe? Am I feeling stable? And if the answer is no at that moment, I think you are experiencing some kind of trauma.
What steps then should families take? Is it as simple as we need to get professional help, seek out counseling as a family? Do we just start developing routines just to get back to a sense of normalcy? What steps do we then take after a traumatic event?
You kind of answered it. So one of the things is that families need to be very aware of the patterns that come up from the children, from teenagers. Like I explained in the beginning, that trauma meets us at different stages in our lives.
Yeah.
And for younger children, when your children or your children are having nightmares, sudden clinginess, regress behavior, they play that repeatedly, almost like takes back the child to the event. And then to a teenager, when you're seeing the teenager all of a sudden starting to take risk, like behavior, activities, this child is somewhat now starting to withdraw from the family, their mood swings, then you know that we are dealing with something that could be symptoms of trauma. But now, I think it is normal, like I said, for us to have shock, to see fear amongst each other, trouble sleeping, and all of those things, because those are the signs of something is happening in the family and we need to address it. Yes, you can go for, yes, actually not you can, try seek for support, try seek for help when you know that something like that has happened. Because often, even the people who are in charge and in control, which are the parents at the time, might not have all the solutions. Routine is very important in a family, especially for children. Like I said, the nervous system needs to know that you are safe and you are within secure structures. So I think having regular meal times, regular bedtimes, when you are communicating amongst each other in a family setting, that there are clear expectations, okay? That when you are feeling a certain way, these feelings that you cannot pinpoint, some people call them hushies, that you explain them to your family and your family gets to process with you. I think outside all of that, it's important for families to also start noting times when they can have structured check-ins with one another. And this is obviously outside them asking for professional support that should be building or rebuilding, unlearning or learning new ways of us now having to deal with what is happening currently.
Right. Okay, so unfortunately we've run out of time, but if we are seeking family counseling, is that a service that you offer?
Yes, I do facilitate conversations among families. I've got experience in communities that are, having to seek these kind of conversations. So 100%. I've got capacity, yes.
Right. And how do we get hold of you, Kopano?
you can email me on kopanobokaba@gmail.com. That is how you then, you book your appointment. And then after that, I will definitely give you a call back. And this is obviously when you are emailing me, you're just giving me some kind of like, hey, I need support on whatever. Here are my numbers. Please contact me back. And that's what I will do.
Okay, sounds good. I think it's such an important service, and I was very particular about asking that, because if we can't heal our families, then we really are just going to be destructive as a society. We've got to fix family structures beforehand. Kopano Bokaba, registered wellness counsellor. It is 1:30.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.